Hi, my name's Emily Jane Phillips from Emily Jane Image Consultancy. I am trained in style and colour through Colour Me Beautiful, and I've actually had a style request through rather than a makeup one, which is nice because it means I'm actually allowed to appear on camera with a full face of makeup on for once instead of having to start with a completely naked face. The request is how to wear large hair accessories, flowers, fascinators in your hair without it looking, the words that she used is like a small bird has landed on top of you, but I think the general gist that she's going for is without looking like you just plonked something on your head. Now, the first tip I would say is you need to make sure you've got the right hair accessory for you to make it look like you should be wearing it. This is down to a few things. One of the really important ones is size of the hair accessory. So, for example, if we look at something like this, obviously this is a very large flower. Now, if you are a very petite person, so we're talking sort of, under 5'3", somewhere sort of size 10, 12 and below, something this big is going to look very overwhelming on you. You will need something smaller. However, I'm taller and bigger, so I actually need a larger hair accessory. If I was to wear something very, very tiny, then it would actually look quite out of place on my hair. And I know it could sound strange, but it might actually contribute to me looking bigger, which is something that slightly larger people never actually want. So the first tip to make sure it's not actually going to just look like it's sat on top of your hair is to get the size right. Second thing is to make sure that it's right for you, that it's right for your personality. Now, I've got quite a kind of romantic girly personality, so I love flowers. See, we've got more flowers, butterflies. I love a bit of vintage and retro as well, so we've got a nice fascinator there as well. But if you are a more classic person, you might be looking at things that are more sort of diamonds and pearls. If it really has to be something that fits with your own personality. Don't just look at something on someone else's head and think, I'd like to wear that, unless it's something that actually really speaks to you and your own personality. Next thing, stop it looking like it's just plonked on top of your head. And I think this is probably the most important thing. The way to stop it looking like it's just been plonked on top of your head is not just to plonk it on top of your head. Sounds simple. But if I just I'll take my flower friend back again, and if I just pop that on top of my head, it looks really strange. It doesn't look right at all. It looks like I've just plonked it on top of my head, and the reason is because I have just plonked it on top of my head. I think, and this is obviously my just sort of personal opinion here, but I think the key to wearing hair accessories is to actually integrate them into a hairstyle rather than just popping them on top of your head. Now, I'm just going to quickly show you a few different ways that you can do that and what I mean by that. And there we go, there's the first style, and as you can see, rather than just popping something on top of my head, I've actually integrated the flower into the hairstyle. It's not even just sat on the side of my head. You can see the way that I've actually used my hair to actually give the flower something to nestle into, and that actually means that it's sort of integrated in the style and looks a little bit more like it's meant to be there, and I think hopefully you'll agree that's much more successful than where I just sat it on top of my head before. It looks quite nice from all angles and giving all of your hair a little bit more volume there. So that's a flower. Let's try an Alice band. And there we go, there's an Alice band integrated into a hairstyle. Again, we've not just put the Alice band on top of my head, we've actually put hair around it, we've given it some volume, we've given it some hair to nestle into. You can see how quick that was to do. So there's a way of actually integrating an Alice band into your hairstyle. We'll finish off with a bit more of a retro one. We'll pop a fascinator on top now. And there we go, now we have a fascinator integrated into a really quick but slightly more retro inspired hairstyle. Again, the way that it works is that it's within a hairstyle, it's nestled into hair, I've got hair around it, behind it. It means it looks a little bit more like it's actually meant to be there, like it's got a place, than if you've just plonked it on top of your head. So I think, in short, the way to do it is just to play and have a little look at some hairstyles on YouTube as well. There are loads of fantastic tutorial videos on here. If you check out Lisa Fremont Street especially, she's got some fantastic hair tutorials, and there's lots of ways that you can then integrate accessories, fascinators and bands into those.